Hey everybody, I'm Adnan Mayasi, and welcome to the show. You know, The Simpsons, that wonderful, hilarious, yellow-hued family we all know and love, they've got this weird knack for predicting the future. I'm talking smartwatches, Trump's presidency, even that whole horse meat scandal a few years back. They called it. So, naturally, we gotta ask, what about 2025? What does Springfield have in store for us this time? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into some of the wildest, wackiest, and maybe even a little worrisome predictions The Simpsons have cooked up for the year ahead. Let's be honest, after the last few years, anything seems possible, right? I mean, we've had pandemics, murder hornets, political roller coasters that would make your head spin. It's enough to make you miss the good old days of Y2K paranoia. But hey, at least we have The Simpsons to give us a heads up, even if it's through the lens of animated absurdity. So grab your Duff beer, settle in on the couch, and get ready to laugh, and maybe cry a little, as we explore what The Simpsons think 2025 has in store for us. Who knows? Maybe we'll even pick up some survival tips along the way, you know, just in case Homer's doomsday prepper phase becomes a reality. Alright, let's kick things off with a bang, or should I say a boom. That's right, we're talking about the apocalypse. The end of days, the final curtain call, the big finish. You know, the end of the world as we know it. The kind of stuff that makes you want to stock up on canned beans and bottled water. In the episode, Thank God It's Doomsday, our favorite nuclear safety inspector, Homer Simpson, gets it into his head that he's cracked the code for predicting the end times. Now I know what you're thinking, Homer, the guy who can barely remember his own birthday, is predicting the apocalypse. It sounds absurd, but that's the beauty of The Simpsons. Yeah, well, stranger things have happened. Remember that time he became an astronaut, or when he ran for mayor? But as you can imagine, Homer's calculations are about as accurate as his bowling skills. Which is to say, not very. Spoiler alert, the world doesn't end. At least not in that episode. But it does make you wonder, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Could The Simpsons actually be onto something with this whole apocalypse business? After all, the show has a knack for predicting the future. I mean, we've got climate change wreaking havoc all over the planet, with melting glaciers and wildfires becoming more common. Tensions between world leaders are hotter than a chili cook-off at the Quickie Mart, with political debates turning into heated arguments. And let's not forget about those pesky doomsday preppers stockpiling enough supplies to last through a nuclear winter. They might be onto something, or maybe they're just really into canned food. Okay, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but it's hard not to be when the world feels like it's on the brink of chaos. But hey, a little healthy paranoia never hurt anyone, right? It keeps us on our toes and makes life a bit more interesting. Plus, it gives us an excuse to build that underground bunker we've always dreamed of. You know, the one with the game room and the home theater. You know, just in case. It's always good to have a backup plan. But in all seriousness, while I don't think we need to start digging bomb shelters just yet, it's always a good idea to be prepared. And by prepared, I mean having a solid emergency plan, knowing what to do in case of a disaster, stocking up on some non-perishable snacks, gotta have those crusty O's, and making sure you have enough supplies to last a few days. And maybe brushing up on your survival skills. You never know when you might need to start a fire or build a shelter. You know, just in case Homer's prediction turns out to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So, what do you say? Ready to face the apocalypse Simpsons style? It might not be as far-fetched as it seems. Don't worry, even if the world does end, at least we'll go out laughing. The Simpsons always find a way to make us smile, even in the face of doom. And hey, maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be a zombie apocalypse. At least then we'll have an excuse to finally use those zombie survival skills we've been practicing. So grab your bow and arrow, and let's get ready for whatever comes our way. After all, it's always better to be prepared just in case. Okay, so maybe the world isn't going to end in a fiery blaze of glory, but that doesn't mean we can just sit back and relax. But what about a good old-fashioned global conflict, the kind that keeps everyone on edge? Constantly checking the news for updates. You know, the kind that makes headlines, sparks international incidents, and has everyone brushing up on their bomb shelter etiquette. It's the stuff of nightmares, yet somehow, it feels all too real. Yeah, The Simpsons have touched on that too. They've always had a knack for reflecting our deepest fears and anxieties through humor. Remember that classic Simpsons short from 1987? The one that had everyone laughing and cringing at the same time? The one where Homer freaks out about the start of World War III? It was funny, sure, but it also hit a little too close to home. Or how about Lisa's Wedding, where they make a casual reference to a past global war that reshaped society as we know it? It's a sobering reminder of how fragile our world can be. Yeah, not exactly the most comforting thoughts, are they? it's enough to make anyone feel a bit uneasy. And let's be real, the world isn't exactly a beacon of peace and harmony these days. With protests, political confrontations, and international tensions, it's hard to stay optimistic. We've got political tensions running high, economic uncertainty making everyone a little on edge, and a general sense of unease that seems to permeate everything. And enough military firepower to make even the most hardened general sweat. It's a volatile mix that could ignite at any moment. But hey, let's not lose hope just yet. There are still glimmers of optimism and moments of kindness that remind us of our shared humanity. After all, this is the Simpsons we're talking about. They've always been about finding humor in the darkest of times, showing us that laughter can be a powerful tool for coping. They're all about finding humor in the darkest of times. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, we can find reasons to smile and laugh. And besides, if Lisa Simpson can teach us anything, it's that diplomacy, understanding, and a healthy dose of common sense can go a long way. Her character embodies the hope that reason and compassion can prevail. So instead of prepping for World War III, maybe we should focus on channeling our inner Lisa Simpson. Embracing her values might just be the key to a better future. You know, the one who believes in peace, justice, and the power of rational thought. It's a mindset that could help us navigate these turbulent times. Who knows? Maybe if we all try a little harder to understand each other, we can avoid a Springfield-style meltdown on a global scale. It's worth a shot, right? And hey, if all else fails, we can always hide out in Moe's Tavern. It's a place where everyone knows your name and the troubles of the world seem a little more distant. They've got a pretty good track record when it comes to surviving disasters, both natural and man-made. It's almost like a sanctuary in the chaos. Plus, they've always got plenty of Duff beer on tap. Sometimes a cold beer is all you need to take the edge off. And let's be honest, if the world is ending, we might as well go out with a cold one in hand. Cheers to that. Chapter 3. Send in the zombies. Alright, let's take a break from all this doom and gloom for a minute and talk about something a little more lighthearted. You know, like a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, you heard me right. The Simpsons have even tackled the undead. Remember that Treehouse of Horror episode, the one where a virus turns everyone in Springfield into brain-eating zombies? It's one of those episodes that sticks with you, not just because of the humor, but because it's a perfect blend of horror and comedy. You know, the one where Bart is the unlikely savior of humanity because his immune system is so messed up that even a zombie virus can't handle it? Classic Simpsons. It's a brilliant twist that only the Simpsons could pull off, making Bart both a hero and a comic relief. Now I know what you're thinking. A zombie apocalypse? In this economy? Yeah, it's a long shot, but it's fun to imagine, isn't it? The idea of the world turning upside down and the most unexpected heroes emerging. But hey, after the last few years, can we really rule anything out? We've seen some pretty wild stuff happen, things that we never thought possible. I mean, we've had pandemics, locust swarms, even that whole murder hornet thing. It's like we're living in a real-life horror movie sometimes. At this point, a zombie apocalypse almost seems quaint. It's almost like we've been desensitized to the idea because of everything else going on. But let's be real. The chances of a zombie virus actually wiping out humanity are pretty slim. Scientists have debunked the possibility time and again, but it's still a fascinating concept to explore. But that doesn't mean we can't have a little fun with the idea, right? Imagining how we'd survive, what strategies we'd use, and who among us would be the ultimate zombie slayer. Besides, it's always good to be prepared, you know, just in case. Having a plan, even for something as unlikely as a zombie apocalypse, can be a fun way to think about emergency preparedness in general. So, what do you say? Ready to brush up on your zombie survival skills? It's not just about fighting off zombies, it's about being resourceful and thinking on your feet. I'm talking headshots, double taps, the whole 9 yards. Knowing how to defend yourself is key, but so is knowing when to run and hide. And don't forget about those essential supplies, food, water, ammunition, and of course a copy of The Simpsons to keep your spirits up during those long nights hiding from the undead hordes. Entertainment is crucial to maintaining morale. Who knows, maybe a zombie apocalypse wouldn't be so bad. It could be a chance to start fresh, to live life on the edge. I mean, think about it. No more work, no more bills, just you, your trusty shotgun, and a whole lot of zombies to keep you company. It's a wild fantasy, but sometimes it's fun to dream about a world where the rules are completely different. Plus, if Bart Simpson can survive a zombie apocalypse, so can we, right? After all, if a cartoon kid can outsmart the undead, there's hope for the rest of us. Chapter 4 AI, our new overlords. Okay, so maybe the apocalypse won't come in the form of zombies. But what about robots? You know, those cold, calculating machines that are slowly but surely taking over the world? Yeah, the Simpsons have been onto that for years. Think back to the episode Bart to the Future, where we get a glimpse into a future ruled by technology, with robots doing everything from serving drinks to running for president. Or how about all those other episodes where we see technology slowly but surely infiltrating every aspect of our lives? And let's be honest, they're not exactly wrong, are they? I mean, look around. We've got smartphones that are practically extensions of our brains, algorithms that seem to know us better than we know ourselves, and AI that's getting smarter by the day. Now, I'm not saying that we're on the verge of a Terminator-style robot uprising, but I am saying that it's probably a good idea to start thinking about the role that technology plays in our lives. After all, we don't want to end up like those poor saps in WALL-E, right? But hey, maybe AI won't be all bad. Maybe it'll free us from the drudgery of everyday life, giving us more time to pursue our passions, spend time with loved ones, and finally finish that screenplay we've been working on. Or maybe, just maybe, the robots will take over and enslave us all. But hey, if that's the case, at least we'll have the Simpsons to thank for warning us. And who knows, maybe our robot overlords will have a soft spot for classic cartoons. It's worth a shot, right? Outrow, keep it animated. So, there you have it. The Simpsons predictions for 2025. Are they spot-on glimpses into the future or just a bunch of hilarious coincidences? Who knows? But one thing's for sure. The Simpsons has a knack for holding up a funhouse mirror to society, reflecting our anxieties and aspirations, all while making us laugh. Sure, some of these predictions might seem far-fetched, but they also make you think, don't they? About the choices we make, the world we're creating, and the importance of facing the future with a healthy dose of humor. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through Springfield and beyond. What's your favorite Simpsons prediction? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of pop culture. Until next time, keep it animated.